Hi everyone, my name is Tanzeel. What's up? I'm a recruitment consultant. I work for Hudson Recruitment. Hudson Global is the official name. It's a global recruitment and talent management business. A little about me as I studied masters in international business and I am an accountant by profession. So I've roundabout in terms of my interviewing skills and exposure. I meet almost around 15 candidates every day. Me work with top ASX listed businesses. I have myself attended more than 100 interviews and worked with reasonable size businesses. So I'll walk you through what are the key things that if you do can increase your chances of being employed in Australian corporate. To begin with, I think Australian corporate is it's a very relationship based market, so you must know the right people and you must network with the right people. You can really leverage off your networking skills. So first of all, I think networking is very important. 70% of the roles get filled by networking alone, so 30% of them are goes to the recruiters, or to be fair, 40% as per an estimate. So to begin with, I would like to say information in the resume must be aligned with the job description. Use keywords, because application tracking systems are very they pick up applications with certain specific words, such as if you're applying for an accountant position and the business that you're applying for use SAP as a tool, or they want advanced Excel skills or financial modeling skills, or if you're applying for an IT consultant or IT related developing job, then certain keywords related to development, and then keywords such as um, team player, hardworking, proactive, engagement. So try to use action related words such as engage, encourage, involve, indulge. Those sort of information must be on your resume and it should be tailored and very targeted. Voluntary experience is valuable I think, especially if you're applying for a not-for-profit job, or for a job within the healthcare sector, where an element of empathy is also very important. So voluntary experience is really beneficial in that case. Or if you're a graduate student and if you have been involved in a voluntary experience or voluntary project work that you have done, it's very, very important, especially for graduates. And just I think this for this point over here, imagine if you were to hire yourself. If this was your business, would you hire yourself? So self-assess, evaluation is very good to get an idea of where do you stand. And one another point which I often advise my candidates is don't oversell yourself. Keep control of your words and tone, that I've done this, I've managed this, I've made these budgets, I've done this, and that then could sound a bit bragging, or a bit you may sound unauthentic if I were to say. So make sure whatever your achievement is, the actions and the results are backed by it. So these are the actions that I took, and that these are the results because of those actions, and that's the impact of my contribution to the business that I've done. Target and relevant approach works when targeting certain type of jobs. So make sure your search is very targeted. You know what you're targeting, you know what industry you want to be in, you know the employee, you know the managers, you network with them, and through LinkedIn you research their website, you research their career page, you know what the HR managers are, the talent acquisition team are, you know that organization in and out, you know the news. So it's very important to have a targeted approach. Moving further, LinkedIn, Seek, and Indeed. Create your online presence. Make sure you are on LinkedIn. Make sure your Seek profile is up to date. Make sure your Indeed profile is up to date. And it's very important to increase your visibility in the market, because you may never know, a recruiter may reach you, a talent acquisition consultant may reach you, because right now it's a talent driven market, so everyone is looking for talent, researching talent, and there is believe it or not, a shortage of talent as well. Just because the criteria of jobs have increased, now the employers are more specific about the skill set, they're more specific about what they want in an ideal candidate, and the bars have risen. So increasing visibility is another important point that you can make. According to a survey, 75% of jobs are filled through LinkedIn. So LinkedIn is a great source. So make sure you are active on LinkedIn, and you're using it in the most efficient manner. A recruiter searches for LinkedIn, especially hard to find jobs. Niche skill set are often find through LinkedIn. All the companies look for talent on LinkedIn and Seek. So in terms of LinkedIn profile, I'll just briefly run through what are the key things that should be there in your LinkedIn profile. Once, upload an attractive professional photo. So photo should be professional. It should have a proper headshot. It should make sure it should demonstrate confidence in you. It should make sure you have a smile on your face, not a stern looking face. It should have a welcoming face, if that makes a sense, and write a punchy headline. Yeah, just make sure that you know what you're looking for or what contribution you can do in terms of headline. Check your LinkedIn profile strength. Yeah, there is an option you can check whether, if it is 100% completed, then the profile strength is very good, 100%. So make sure things are there, written properly. Elaborate on your experience and system uses. Make sure not to write too much details in your experience, just very targeted, concise information is highly recommended. Recommendation is important. It shows credibility. Ask your employers that you have worked for, or the managers you have worked for, to give you a recommendation on LinkedIn. It does really reflect good on your profile. Voluntary work experience, if you've done, make sure you add it on your profile. Keep your profile public and frequently keep updating it. So make sure it's public and make sure it's updating. Make sure your Seek database is updated and visible to the recruiters and the HR people. So that's also another important point. Expand your connection and network with the right people. You may know feature or join group and follow companies. And following companies is also very important on LinkedIn, because companies are updating information on a daily basis on LinkedIn. Follow your desires. Follow your desired industry or company. There are over 5 million companies on LinkedIn, so it's a big platform. So we live in a social media driven world. So there are a lot of industry companies out there, and I think in today's globalized world, there are a lot of opportunities in terms of finding job, not only in Melbourne but anywhere in the world, to be honest. So Seek profiling, it is linked to your resume. Make sure updated resume is there. Keep up to date relevant experience and detail. Highlight key software used and achievements. Upload resumes and cover letter on your Seek profile, and same with Indeed. Use keywords. CV and cover letter. Resume is the first document and the first impression, so make sure it's neat and clean and there is easy flow of information. Highlight key tangible achievements that you made. Achievements should also be backed up by action. Make sure there's a balance of soft skills and hard skill on your resume. Mention relevant business name, industry, and proper timeline. Also, it's important to mention if it is a contract or not. So make sure the information is whether the business name, mention the business name. A little one-liner about the business name would really make life easy for recruiters and industry. And make sure the timeline is properly defined, that this is the timeline I work in this organization. It's clear, it's concise, it's understandable. Use keywords again to increase your visibility and chances of being tracked by the application tracking system. And voluntary experience. Make sure you're able to talk about your interests, which recent book you have read, and if a recruiter or a HR manager can ask you, okay, tell me about the book that you have read recently or the newspaper. What is in the news that you have read recently? So make sure you're prepared. Interview tips: presentation is important. Look sharp, look presentable. It does. First impression is the last impression. Research the company, add your managers on LinkedIn. Research the company you're applying for, add the hiring managers, finance manager, IT manager, group head, team leader, etc., etc. Add them, try to sell yourself directly to them. Research the industry, talk about recent changes, read newspapers, be confident and speak clear English. So accent is not that important. It is the important part is to speak English in a clear, understandable manner. It's very important. Try to articulate your thoughts well. Don't just say that I did this. Try to bring in a story to it. It really shows your understanding if you start discussing your duties or responsibilities or your value contribution or your achievement and formulate it into a story structure. Know about your goals and future aspiration, know your strength and weakness, and be honest in terms of weakness. Like, this is my weakness, I'm working on it. Weakness should also be followed by a rectification. So weakness alone is just not very good. This should be followed by a rectification. And I'm very keen about the job, work, and would honestly work. And this is a statement which you can use. I'm very keen about this job and would honestly love to work for your company. If you're really interested, you can. This is a very good closing punchline. I'm very keen about this job and would honestly love to work for your company. Be sure what you're looking for. Yeah, that's also very important. 10 most in-demand skills need according to LinkedIn survey. So soft skills. Like, we all know we live in a world where artificial intelligence and outsourcing and automation and a lot of other future interesting disruptive technologies are waiting ahead, which will definitely reduce would definitely reduce human touch or replace human, if I were to say. That's a survey done by LinkedIn, and these are soft skills which are very important. One thing that machine cannot and will, according to my own humble opinion, can never replace is emotional intelligence, emotional skills. So creativity. Robots can't think creatively. You tell them what to do, but they won't able to do themselves unless you do some sort of bit algorithms would may result in something different, but still algorithms have themselves limitations, right? So persuasion, one needs to conceive people to buy. Collaboration is very important. Teamwork is like the key. Adaptability, upskilling yourself. Upskilling is a necessity in today's work environment, right? If you're not upskilling yourself, you would end up being redundant, and that's a fact, like it or not. Time management is important, is a useful skill. And in terms of hard skills, cloud computing, artificial intelligence, of course, analytical reasoning is very important. We need strategic thinkers. UX design, that's something architect. I have not much information about it. People management. In conclusion, I would say be open to change. Establish a plan of attack. Build your online presence. Develop a relationship, change your circle, make sure to hang out with the right people, and be keen and keep trying, never lose hope, because there are jobs. All you need to do is formulate your strategy, keep it very targeted, and never give up, and try to sell yourself, and try to show what value contribution you can add to an organization, and upskill yourself, upskill your exposure, and also be very strategic in terms of targeting companies, because there are companies and industries that you can anticipate won't last in future. Be up to date with the future changing technologies and where things are heading. So I think it's very important to, if you consider all those things and factors in your mind, I'm pretty sure there are good positive things waiting for you in future. Thank you so much for your listening to me, and please share this video around so that others can benefit from it. And I'm very open to feedback, so please do let me know if there's some other information you would like to know or ways I can